Hey guys, what's up? I'm Ashley. Generation had its season finale and everybody was going through it. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment letting me know what you thought about this episode. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And with that being said, let's get right to it. First, I want to start off by saying that I'm tired of Luce and her stiff hair. I want to know why it don't move. Her hair doesn't move, but her mouth is always moving. When she told Riley that she likes her and she wants to be with her, I wanted to throw something at her. Through the TV, Greta isn't, into you like that. So you're like, I'm going to move on to Riley. Just because y'all hooked up that day in that motel doesn't mean that Riley really wants you. Riley was at a low point and she used you, girl. She don't want you. I'm tired of people not letting Riley and Greta be great together. I don't know who invited her to that party, but she needs to go home. But something good did end up coming out of this episode. Greta finally was able to finish her sentence, y'all. Praise God. She'd been trying to tell Riley for the longest time how she felt, and she finally was able to do so without being cut off. She told her, I love you. And Riley was like, I love you too. I almost passed out. Okay, I was so happy. I'm so happy still. She was like, I wasn't acting like that at that motel that night because I didn't like you. I just don't like you. I love you. I was like, oh, dreams do come true. So it's kind of looking like Greta came out as asexual because she was like, it's not like I'm not able to like anybody. It's just that I don't really want to kiss and hug them. So, it was a beautiful moment. But then, Riley went to tell Greta that she hooked up with Luce that night at the motel. She was about to, but then she got cut off and interrupted. I'm tired of people interrupting them. But she got cut off by, what's her name? Delilah. Delilah had to make an announcement at the party and tell everybody that she's Panda Express girl. The girl that had the baby in the mall. And nobody cared. So we could have had that beautiful Greta and Riley moment continue, but no, of course not. And so Delilah was mad at Naomi for telling that one boy, what's his name? Cooper, that she was Panda Express girl when she was high off of that medicine that she was on from getting her wisdom teeth pulled out. Cooper finally told her that Naomi spilled the beans. And so Delilah went and confronted her and she was like, why would you do that? And Naomi was like, I'm sorry, but I was high off medicine. And she was like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't matter. And that's why Cooper just wants to date me and not you, because they're in a throuple and Cooper doesn't want to be in a throuple anymore with Naomi. He just wants to be with Delilah. So Naomi got upset and she was like, I'm going home now. So she's walking out the party and she's telling Ariana, I'm leaving. And Ariana was like, okay. And then Naomi's like, that's all you have to say? A 16-year friendship and all you have to say is okay? And at this point, I'm like, girl, you are so dramatic. She's always so dramatic. So that's when Ariana was like, you ditched me to go to Wonder Woman with a guy. And she's been holding that in. She's been ready to let that out. And Naomi was like, you said it was okay. And Ariana was like, obviously it wasn't. I'm with Naomi. Naomi was like, how am I supposed to know that? And Ariana was like, you're just supposed to know. And when Naomi came back at her with just like, you should have known how much it sucked for me to see you stick your fingers on my brother's mouth and tell him that his hair makes you want to come, I hollered out loud. And then Ariana had the audacity to be like, he wasn't even into me. And Naomi was like, that literally doesn't even matter. You know that. And I'm like, exactly. That literally doesn't matter. You know that. And as Naomi is walking out of the party now, going home, Ariana is yelling at her, talking about, and for the future, I would really recommend not messing with a witch. And I was like, girl, do something then. Learn how to do a spell right and do something then, because you don't know how to do a spell right. Okay? I've told y'all plenty times before, I don't like Ariana. She gets on my nerves. And so now Nathan is mad at Riley for Riley not really even telling his mama that the whole relationship with him and Chester was fake. By Riley being silent, his mom figured out that the whole relationship was fake and he was just trying to get back at her for her not being okay with the whole gay thing. And it looks like his mom and his dad are about to take a break. His dad is tired of his mama and I don't blame him. So anyway, Chester and Bo broke up. Bo broke up with Chester because Bo is insecure. He was like, I'm boring and nerdy and I don't get why you like me. I think you like me because of how much I like you. Bo is on my nerves, and he's been on my nerves for a few episodes now. I never thought that they belonged together anyway. I always thought that Chester and Nathan should be together, and hopefully next season Chester can finally open up his eyes and see that Nathan could be the one for him. And it looked like this episode that they was about to hook up for a little bit, and I was hoping, please don't hook up, because Chester is very emotional. He took that breakup real hard. He was taking some drugs or some weed or whatever he was doing, and he was high off that. He was up in the pool, having fun by himself. He sunk down to the bottom of the pool on purpose, and he was down there for a long time, and Nathan had to jump in there and get him out. Chester has been playing with death too many times for me. Like, what he trying to do? Because when he gets hurt, he hurts. Because remember that whole thing with his counselor, Sam, and Sam was like, nah, I'm not trying to date you. Like, you over here catfishing me. I'm so much older than you. Like, what you think this is? And Chester took that hard. He was, pulled the fire alarm, and, he went off. So I'm hoping that this breakup doesn't really, trigger him to do anything crazy. And I'm so happy that him and Nathan didn't hook up. He, tried to put the moves on Nathan. And Nathan was checking him out. Like, Nathan wanted to do it, but Nathan didn't want to do it because he knew that Chester was at a low state. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But hopefully next season they can be together. And so Chester was doing that thing he did in, like, the first episode of the season where he was sitting on top of this building in some letters or whatever, just looking down. And I was like, you playing too much. You could, like, easily slip and fall. So he called Sam, and this is the first interaction that we see him have with Sam since that whole catfishing thing that he did to him. And he just called him up and was like, can you stay on the phone with me for a while? And Sam was like, yeah. And it was nighttime when that happened, and the sun was about to come up, and finally Chester was like, are you still there? And Sam was still there. I guess he just didn't want to feel alone, and Sam told him, the whole catfishing thing is fine, it's in the past. And Chester was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. But so what I'm upset about is this ending. So as soon as Chester hangs up from Sam on top of that building, he was like standing up and leaning like he was about to jump or something. And then someone comes walking up and he was like, it's you, with a smile. And I'm like, who is it? Is it Bo? It better not be Bo. Is it Riley? Is it Sam? Is it Nathan? I don't know. But it better be somebody good and not Bo. This winter formal after party thing was hectic and chaotic. Everybody was going through it. Let me know what you thought about this episode though. And like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And let me know what y'all watching. What y'all want me to recap next. I really do appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all in my next video.